What's good, everybody? Today we're talking about why people are applying to like 100 jobs and still can't even get one. Not even like just a sorry, we went with someone else. They just straight up get ghosted. Like, damn, did these applications even go through or what? Like, you got me double, triple checking out here. Nah, but seriously, something big is off right now, and I finally figured out why. I was talking to one of my boys the other day, and this guy, take into account, he's not lazy at all. He's actually hardworking as fuck. He's fixing up his resume, applying every day, even waking up early just to stay disciplined and keep applying. And bro, he got nothing. Weeks go by, nothing. Months go by, still nothing. And at some point he starts thinking like it's his fault for something. So he messages me, he's like, yo, maybe I'm just not good enough, maybe my resume is still trash. And I had to let him know straight up, nah bro, I don't even think it's you. I think this whole job market is fucked right now, because I keep hearing the same story everywhere. So that got me kind of sus, and I dived into the rabbit hole for this, and this is what I found, and it was kind of fucked up. First thing you need to realize is that half these jobs online are completely fake. I'm not even joking. You ever see the same job posted over and over again for like 2 months? Those are called ghost jobs. Apparently, a lot of companies post these ghost jobs just to look busy and collect resumes. So you're sitting there thinking you got rejected, but the truth is, there was no job to even begin with. You were never getting that call, man. I used to see the same job posting every single year on places like Indeed and all these other sites. So now imagine this, thousands of people all applying to jobs that don't even exist. Of course it's gonna feel impossible. Now add this on top of it too. Everyone is applying right now. You got people with degrees applying to basic ass retail jobs. You got people with like 5 years experience applying to entry level stuff. You even got people who have jobs and they're applying to new ones in case they get laid off from their original job. So every job posting is getting completely flooded. The competition right now is insane. I'm talking hundreds of applications, sometimes even a little bit more. So do you really think anyone is actually sitting there reading through all those applications? Fuck no. They got AI systems filtering everyone out. So if your resume doesn't have the right words or doesn't look perfect, you're gone before a real human even sees your name. That's the part that's messed up. It's not even about who's the best anymore. It's about who can get past that AI system. Even people who got college degrees are stuck trying to find some basic ass jobs. At that point, I'm like, what the fuck was the point in college then? The worst thing I seen in my life was when I was working security, right? And one of my coworkers, who was such a nice guy, finally opened up to me and he told me that he's a whole engineer. Bro, an engineer working a minimum wage security job is insane. And this dude was in his 30s too, by the way. He had a 2-year-old baby. I'm like, damn, that's fucking insane for a guy who's a father already to be working minimum wage trying to support his family. He's a whole engineer. He went to college for that shit and he still can't find a job. It made me realize how fucked society has become, because when I was young, I always thought by the age of 30, everyone already has like their big boy job in some office or some shit, as if it's just handed down to you and easy to get. And it probably was back in the day. And don't even get me started on this experience thing. Why does every single job want so much experience now? For a job that's supposed to give you experience in the first place, like, make that make sense. Why does McDonald's want 2 years of fucking experience? That's supposed to be the type of job you get as a teenager to build experience. I didn't know I was supposed to become some fucking master chef by throwing together burger buns in the back of a McDonald's. It honestly makes me feel like this whole thing is just set up to keep you stuck unless you know somebody. And speaking of that, connections matter way more than people want to admit nowadays. You could be the most qualified person applying online, but some dude who knows the manager is getting that job way before you, buddy. That's just reality. My first job came through a connection only because I couldn't find a job anywhere else, so I had to rely on connections and references. And I think that's a lot where people mess up, including me at one point. You sit there all day online thinking you're being productive, like, yeah, I applied to 20 jobs today, I'm locked in. But in reality, you're just a name in a pile of 500 people, and only like 10 people are gonna actually be seen. That's the hardest way to do it. Sometimes you just gotta move different. Pull up in person, message people, ask around, do something that makes you stand out instead of doing what everyone else is doing. Because if you're doing the exact same thing as 500 people, what makes you think they're gonna pick you? How do you know those other 500 people aren't more qualified than you? And the worst part of all this is what it does to your head. Because after a while, you start doubting yourself like my boy was. You start thinking that you're the problem, like you're not smart enough, your resume is trash, or you're not experienced enough or good enough. And that's where it gets dangerous. Because once your confidence drops, everything else starts to fall apart too. But I'm telling you right now, it's not just you. There's so many people going through the same thing right now. Like actually trying their hardest and getting nowhere. The system is just overcrowded and kind of broken right now. So if you're in that position, don't just sit there and blame yourself. Switch it up. Try different ways. Talk to different people. Get those connections made. And most importantly, don't let this fuck with your head. Because if you're not getting hired right now, it doesn't mean you're not going to get hired in the future someplace and actually make a living. It just means you're playing in a game that's low-key kind of rigged right now. Focus on building yourself. Focus on building skills. And focus mainly on building those fucking connections. Because I'm telling you, that matters way more than anything. It's kind of messed up when someone can get a job because they know the manager versus someone who's super qualified for it.